Hello, please excuse my scratchy throat. Getting over a cold, having some English breakfast. Hopefully that will give me a little extra energy. I wanted to tell you about the guy who ignored my birthday. I met this guy on a dating app, and he did live down south, which was a bit far, like 2.5 hours from me or so. But the middle point was kind of where I had some family living, so I felt like if things were to progress, like I can make that work with a little bit of planning. He was also really good at phone conversation and texting, so I thought like a semi long distance thing wouldn't be the end of the world there. So I thought I'd give it a shot. We actually had a really great chemistry and had a wonderful time together. Loved hanging out. Like conversation was really good in person and on the phone. Like it was just fun. He was just a lot of fun, and he was very sweet without being too pushy. Didn't even try to push boundaries while at the same time letting me know that he was interested in, progressing, right? So the problem came when about 3 weeks in, approximately, it was going to be my birthday. And I'm not delusional. We're not actually together. We're not exclusive at this time, so I didn't have any real expectations. But I also was going to be without children on my birthday because of the parenting plan, so I did have some extra time. I was also planning to go down to that middle waypoint to spend some time with friends and family down there that day. So there was also a cherry blossom festival going on in the city nearby. So like all of these things all pointed towards this really awesome possibility. And I also work full time and have kids like the rest of the week. So we had gotten in the habit of seeing each other on days I didn't have my kids. And so I just laid it out and I said, I'm not expecting anything, super crazy for my birthday, but I do have some time off. I took the day off work. I'm kid free. I'm going to be in that halfway point. I'm not at all expecting a birthday celebration or putting any weight on that at all, but I would like to see you that day. If you wanted, you could join me for one of these ABC activities that I was doing, because I also wanted to go to a Van Gogh exhibit, and catch the Cherry Blossom Festival. I said that I was going to do by myself, so it wasn't going to be meeting somebody else or that pressure so early into the connection. But I basically said, I'm doing these things. You're welcome to join me that day. Or if you'd rather, we could meet for coffee at the beginning or drinks at the end, since I will be down in that area. He said, okay, thanks. This was through text. He said, okay, thanks. And then I didn't hear back from him. And I had gotten to the point where I wasn't chasing people. I gave him the information, and, it's in his court now. And at this phase in a relationship, you really are trying to figure out who the person is at their core, and how they respond and communicate in these early phases tells you a lot about them. So that was a few days before my birthday. I think 3 or 4 days before my birthday. I heard nothing from him at all. No response whatsoever. On the day of my birthday, I went ahead with my plans. And it wasn't just that he didn't respond. Like, the communication completely stopped. No more good morning text, no more good night text, no more how's your day. Like, everything stopped. Okay, fine. So he's not for me, right? Like, he's clearly not the same communication style. We're not really a good connection. That's okay. No big deal. I heard nothing from him on my birthday. He did not send me a text. He didn't send me a call. Like, I didn't have grand expectations, but when I've been dating somebody on their birthday, if we're not planning to see each other on that birthday, I call them or send a text or a silly video or some kind of thing. I think birthdays should be celebrated. I've been known to make cupcakes or cookies for the person. If we happen to be meeting on their birthday or close by, like, some kind of acknowledgement is nice. It doesn't have to be this grand gesture, and they certainly don't have to come to a birthday party, vice versa. But a happy birthday text is, I think, pretty common courtesy. when you're getting to know someone. The day after my birthday is when I heard from him, and he came at me with attitude, basically saying, well, I hope your birthday's done now and you can focus on me again, because that was, all of that that's about you should be done now so that you can focus your attention back on me. And I was like, excuse me? Why would I be interested in continuing this connection with you when you can't even send a text that takes 10 seconds to compose? Happy birthday. Hope you have a great day. Not to mention the fact that I asked you a direct question. Would you like to join me for one of these things or do this instead? And you didn't answer me. So right now, again, guys don't seem to understand in the beginning, you're putting your best foot forward. And if your best foot forward is this bad, we are not interested. I was so disgusted that he would think it was acceptable to completely ignore my very direct, clear, and level-headed question, and then ignore my birthday, and then tell me that I was being selfish for wanting to celebrate my birthday on my birthday. He basically made it seem like I couldn't tell if he was pissed off that I was having a birthday and wanted to do something nice for myself, or if he was mad that I was spending some of that day with somebody else, like my friends and family, or if he was just trying to manipulate and like throw me for a loop, like kind of people with like narcissistic manipulative tendencies will like intentionally sabotage a day or a conversation just to throw you off kilter, so that they have that like reward and like crisis reward pattern going on. So honestly though, I didn't really care what his reasons were. If you can't answer a simple question of would you like to get together this day, yes or no, that right there is enough for me to not be interested. So when he didn't answer that question, I had already written him off. I was surprised that he even tried to communicate with me after it was all said and done. And I was like laughing, like, really, why would you think that I would be interested in you? And he's like, well, what did you want me to do? Roll out the red carpet? And I said, no, if you read the text again, I very clearly said I don't have any expectations about what to do on this day, but I am going to be in an area that we've been meeting. If you'd like to meet, we could do these things. Like, I don't see why that's so crazy. Aside from he had some other issues going on, and I know if I got that kind of communication, I would be appreciative that it was all laid out for me. But I guess he doesn't appreciate clear communication. So at the end of the day, we're not a good match because we do not have the same communication style. And at this point in our lives, like, why are we fighting to relearn communication styles? It's just not worth the effort, honestly, especially when somebody's not even trying. They're just being a jerk about it. So anyway, I mean, it did give me pause, like maybe I need to not be so direct with my communication, but at the same time, like, you're looking for a partner, so you're going to want somebody that's going to know the real you. So instead, I lean into the opposite, and I'm more direct with my communication and more matter of fact about it, and upfront, and I'll call people out if they are not following through with their promises of directness either, and I'll ask questions, and honestly, if they can't handle it, then they're not going to be a good partner for me. So that's fine. They can go find somebody else who communicates in a way that works for them. No big deal. But it definitely solidified in me that I just need to be 100% myself from the beginning and not try to sugarcoat or beat around the bush at all, because that's just not going to work in the long run. It's just going to be frustrating. So why try to avoid who you are? Just be yourself from the start.